Welcome back to the baseline. And today, guys, we're gonna do more of the off season. A lot of has happened, and we are going to go through what was left. I believe the last time I talked to you guys, Blake Snell had already signed. So we're gonna go from that move all the way down until we caught up, and I'll do my predictions where I think the remaining free agents will end up going. But let's start with the big one, and that's Juan Soto signs a 15-year, $765 million contract with the New York Mets. Now, listen, this is a great move for the Mets. I actually think it would have been a great move for anyone. Juan Soto, 26 years old, just getting started. He already has 200 career home runs. He's just gonna get better from time goes on. I think he had his highest in home runs this year, which was 41, I believe. Um, and he's really just an excellent player. He is gonna make this team better. His lineup is okay. But, now that it's him and Lindor, uh, on top of that lineup, it's going to be very hard for pitchers to get on. Lindor is going to get on base. He's going to steal. He's going to, and then you're going to have to face Juan Soto right after. It's definitely going to be another great 1-2 punch here for the New York Mets. Now, like I said, this move I don't think was a move that was really more about money. I know a lot of people are looking into that and being like, oh, it will be because after 10 years or something like that, he can opt out, but then the Mets could veto it and then get him $800 million for the rest of his contract. I think this was more of a, I want to lead my own team. Simple as that. He wants to lead his own team. He wants to be the face of the franchise. And I think with the Mets, he's going to do that. He wasn't going to do that with the Yankees. Judge is going to be there for another however long he has left on the contract. I believe it's like eight years or so. And that's what you're going to be. You're going to be second place to Judge. I think Soto wants to be an MVP. He wants to be a leader. He wants to run his own team, which he gets that chance to here within the New York Mets. Um, the only way I see this move being a great move for them is if they sign another bat or two. Otherwise, this move does not work. I think they need to get Alonso back. I think they need to get someone, Bregman, no, Santander, somebody, because otherwise, batting third behind him is Mark Vientos or Jeff McNeil, which is not really a good protection for Juan Soto. I mean, yeah, I get it. You want to win. It's been a very, very long time, but you need to do more with this lineup. But Juan Soto with the Mets, I think, is a great fit. Like I said, he wants to run his own ball club and wants to be the star. I think Francisco Lindor will back off with that and allow Soto to do that. Because Soto's not really or Lindor is not going to be overpowering Soto. So, I mean, for the next 15 years, that's what fans are going to be like. Let's go to Citi Field, and who we're going to see? You're going to see Juan Soto. No offense to Francisco Lindor, but I think that's what it's going to be. But like I said, they need to add more to the lineup. Um, I mean, they've had to pitching the other moves that they made. Frankie Montas goes to the Mets on a 2-year deal, followed by Clay Holmes on a 3-year deal, and then Sean Manaea also returns to the Mets at a 3-year deal. Um, and by the way, Clay Holmes is going to be a starting pitcher, which I guess they're going to continue that little thing that they had last year. Um, they're going to try to get these guys who really haven't been good in the past and see if they could be good again. I mean, Sean Manaea was one of them. Severino was another. I mean, look, I get it. And Clay Holmes, I heard people say this is going to be a bad move because you're putting him on as a starter, this and that. The guy has only had 4 starts. He wants to be a starter. All right, well, let's see what happens. I mean, what's the worst thing you can say? He's going to be a closer or a setup man for Edwin Diaz? Probably be a closer because I don't know if Diaz is going to be able to stay healthy. He has in the last couple of years. So why not give this a shot? The worst thing you could do is then require more pitching at the trade deadline if this doesn't work. So, I don't know, Clay Holmes, very interesting. Kind of feel like they're just gonna try what they tried last year, see if it works. I mean, why not? I mean, look at the Dodgers; they do the same thing every year, and they still find a way to win the whole division, the whole. Last year they won the World Series. I mean, they take guys who are lost in their respective ball clubs, and somehow they turn into stars, uh, which is crazy to think about. Tommy Edman was one. Didn't play for St. Louis. Guy was hurt. Came to the Dodgers, and his numbers skyrocketed. Um, Chris Taylor is another one. Max Muncy is another one. And so, the Dodgers have their plan, the Mets have their plan. So let's see what this does. I'm actually excited to see what Clay Holmes does. Probably be like maybe third in that rotation, fourth, depending on if they make other moves. I doubt it, but we'll see what they do. As for Frankie Montas, I mean, I'm not a fan of it. He hasn't really been good since 2022. So this one kind of bugs me. I believe his ERA was like over 5 this past season between Milwaukee and the Cincinnati Reds. I mean, he just hasn't been good. There's you really can't say anything else other than that. Injury in 23. Okay, his ERA was close to 5. It was 4.84 in the regular season, and he also went 7-11. Um, but like I said, his last really good start, his last good year was actually in 21. Actually, um, 22 was a down year. He got hurt most of the time. Uh, so yeah, I guess the Mets here to take a risk for a guy who hasn't really been good that long. But I guess that's the risk they're willing to take. And then Sean Manaea, once again, it was great for the Mets, helped them out, pitched well in the playoffs for them. So they know what they're getting. It's a face returning to a ball club that wants to win. It's hungry to win. And I would say at the beginning of the season, your only threat is the Philadelphia Phillies. The Braves are not getting Acuna back until May, June, and also Spencer Strider um, is reportedly coming back as of right now after the All-Star break, so he'll be back in the second half of the season. So Naya, I think will probably be an ace of this for this ball club, followed by Sega, Clay Holmes, Frankie Montas, and maybe Blackburn. I, if they're going to use him as a starter. Like I said, the only thing that they're missing is a bat. They got to bring Alonso back to help protect Soto. Maybe give him like a 3-year deal or so. Because I think maybe they'll also be in on Vlad Jr. after this year because he is a free agent. Or maybe you make a trade, or a shocking signing like Bregman and maybe move Vientos to first base. And there's a lot of options the Mets could do, but I think they want. I don't know why you might want Alonso. Uh, you know, you know what you're getting. He's a fan favorite. Basically, like a second coming of David Wright. I would say. I know David Wright was like the captain of the team, and Alonso is Alonso, but you know what you're getting. You're gonna get 30 home runs every year. You're gonna get over 100 RBIs every year. I know 2024 was a struggle for Alonso, but I think you need him back in that lineup and maybe an outfielder. I don't like Jose Siri as my center fielder. I don't like Tyrone Taylor. Um, you know, the outfield does have some questions uh, there, and I think they need to add to it. Again, whether it's by trade or by free agency, I think they need to add that, and they need to add. Um, they need to bring back Alonso. That's I think the two moves they need to make, and I believe they'll be all set. And I can see them winning the division in 2025, but we'll do that on a later podcast. But enough about the Mets. Let's go to the A's, who have made some very, very strong moves. They got Luis Severino, Gio Urshela, and they made a trade with Tampa. I'm just blanking on the guy's name right now. Give me a second. But while I look for that, Springs, from Tampa, who's a good reliever. Look, they're going for it. I know that's weird to say, well, especially how young of a team they are, but look at the rest of the division. There's really nothing to compete against. The Astros are just going all over the place. They are going up and down. With the moves they made this year, I don't know what they're planning on. Seattle's not coming and doing anything. It's the Mariners. They really do anything. The and the Angels are trying to make some moves, but you know, I believe the A's are going to be a good team. I think they're going to be um, competing. I don't know if they'll win the division. I think that'd be an overstatement for them. But Severino pitched well since last year. Definitely an ace of the ball club, which I think they need, and followed by this young talent of hitting Bueller, um, pulling out people's names. Sorry, Bueller, uh, Brett Harris, um, Jacob Wilson, Brown, Rooker, Butler, Reese. I mean, this is a good ball club. It is. I think it's going to take them a couple years. Sorry, I had wind. Um, take them a couple years to win, but I think they'll be good. Severino, 11-7 with an ERA of 3.91. And let's see what about Springs here. Looking up his numbers, Severino, like I said, will be the ace. And Springs, only for 7 games last year, but his ERA was under 4. But I think they need to make this move because MLB did tell him that since you're moving, you gotta spend money, which they did. And they also recently last night uh, extended uh, Rooker on a 5-year deal, so he's gonna be there for a while. And this is gonna be a young core, and hopefully they do some good things. So we'll see what they can do with that. Um, Next move is Willie Adames to the Giants. Um, Look, they needed hitting, they needed it bad, and Willie Adames is a good shortstop. He's gonna help out this team a lot. Uh, especially with Matt Chapman at third base. Is it good enough to compete for the division? I don't think so. I don't think this ball club is that good enough. I think that it needs work, but this is an improvement. To give him for 7 years, um, you know, I think everyone was just expecting Posey to spend. It's not that easy, especially for hitters up in that ballpark. And this is just how crazy it is that the Giants haven't had a hitter hit 30 or more home runs in 20 years. The last guy to do it was Barry Bonds in 2004. So, I mean, Willie Adames, yes, he hit 30 home runs this previous year, but I don't think he's going to do it in here in the stadium. I think this is just going to be an add-on, and the pitching is just awful for the Giants. So I don't think the Giants are going anywhere, but like I said, this is going to be a start for the Giants. This will be the start, and hopefully they can add more as the years go on. And however long Buster Posey will be the president of operations. Baltimore made a couple of moves. They got Tyler O'Neill, Gary Sanchez, and Charlie Morton. Um, the only thing for me really is Tyler O'Neill basically had a great season last year with the Red Sox. Now he's here with Baltimore. He knows the division well. He's a great player, home run guy. Basically a replacement for Anthony Santander, but you know what you're getting with Tyler O'Neill. And once he left St. Louis last year, he's been great. 241 batting average, 31 home runs, 61 RBIs for him this previous year. Second most games he's ever played. And compared to, 2023, his numbers have really improved, and I can only see him getting better. Sanchez, just gonna be a backup for Watchman, but he does contend to strike out a lot. And Charlie Morton, veteran pitcher that I believe is gonna help out the young pitching staff that they have, and to see if it will work and they can compete. Dodgers making more moves. Conforto, Blake Trinan, and Teoscar Hernandez. Again, which stands out to me is Teoscar Hernandez did great with the Dodgers in 24. Was one of the reasons they won the World Series. Basically, they're just gonna keep continuing to build. Conforto is okay. He has kind of lost his mojo since his time with the Mets. Sean is just a great reliever, which I think they need to add more of, because that bullpen is tremendous. I don't think they're going to repeat as World Series champions. They'll win the division, but I don't see them repeating. It's just basically the same team. And as you know, in baseball, it is a very, very hard sport to repeat. And I get it. They're doing their best to build like this dynasty, but the injuries is the only problem that I have with the Dodgers. People are like, this is the best rotation in baseball. It is not, in my opinion. And the only reason I say that is because we don't know when Otani's coming back to pitch. Yamamoto was good, hurt, and now kind of was great for the second half. Glass down was good until he got hurt. Snell is iffy, never does great in the first half. Second half, he comes back. And then Kershaw is supposed to be the fifth guy, who I think he's in the same boat as Verlander and Scherzer. He's done. Um, in my opinion, and I don't know. I think this Dodger team, like I said, it's good, but I don't think they have. I don't think they're a repeat. I don't think they will. Um, the Phillies here made some moves. They got Jordan Romano. They also have gotten Max Kepler and Jesus Lazario. All great players. And supposedly they're done. I don't know how true it is. I hope it's not true. But they have made some great moves. Jordan Romano, solid, not great. I don't think he's better than what they had last year in the bullpen, Estevez and Hoffman. I think this is kind of a downgrade. Like he could be a setup man, he could be a closer, which the Phillies are looking for, and Max Kepler, when he's on, he's on. That's literally what all I gotta say. But I like this move for uh, the Phillies and for Kepler. A proven year. Definitely upgrading the outfield. Probably be Kepler in left, Marsh in center, and maybe Castellanos in right. I also think this is a move to be, maybe lock up some guys that we have and then go for it in the next couple of off seasons. I know after the end of this year, JT Realmuto's a free agent, Castellanos a free agent with the next couple of years, and so is Schwarber. So we'll see what we could get with that, and maybe lock up some of those guys. I would personally lock up Realmuto, and then maybe see what else is left and try to get this team to win. They've been so close so many times, and I know the owner is pissed about it and about losing, about not being able to do it. So we'll see what they have and see if they can compete again. I mean, they are a great team. They are a competitive team, and I know they're hungry to win. And this team is is ready to win a championship, which I think they need to do. And Lazario, look, I know he's had injury problems, but it's an upgrade to what they have. 1, 2, 3 in that pitching rotation is going to be great for the Philadelphia Phillies. Wheeler, Nola, and Lazario, if healthy. And maybe they can make a couple moves by trade. I don't know who they'll get or what they're willing to get, but I don't think this is enough for them. Especially when the Mets get better, and then you also have Philadelphia coming on or Atlanta coming on and getting their players back. But yeah, Philly needs to do something else. This can't be it. I know Dombrowski has come out and said that this is it, but it can't be. They need a lot more than what you're getting. Danny Jansen signs a 1-year deal with the Rays, and Shane Bieber signs a 1-year deal with the Guardians. I like the Shane Bieber move. I think he knew he wasn't gonna get another a deal, and so hey, go to where I'm more comfortable with the only team I've known. Try to prove myself yet again and be this big starting pitcher. I know people see him as a great pitcher. I know he's like a 1 or 2 guy on any other team. But this is what Cleveland was missing. They were missing Shane Bieber. And I know I like Bieber. I think Bieber gets lost in the shuffle. And I'm hoping that he stay healthy and prove people wrong. I think when he's on, he's probably being one of the best pitchers in baseball today. I know he did that one season. In the last couple of years, he's just been hurt. And he's injury prone. But I'm hoping, he can prove those people wrong and be like, you know what? I'm here. This is what I have. This is my best. And I want to prove to you guys that I'm the best. I think that's what they need. As for Jansen, can't really say anything because I believe the Rays are just gonna get rid of him anyway. Um, that this is what the Tampa has done. I think they're in a rebuilding phase. I mean, he's not a bad catcher. It's definitely an upgrade from what they had now. But a, but I believe by the end of the season he'll be with a different team. Tigers get Alex Cobb and Gleyber Torres. Um, Not a bad move for the Tigers. I know this will put Colton Keith to first. Means Torkelson's probably out. As right now, Sweeney's the starting shortstop, so I want to know what they will do with Baez. But this is a team that's hungry to win. We've seen it last year in the playoffs. They got so close so many times. Leave the lineup as it is. Maybe bring back Verlander. I know he's probably done. I think he knows he's done. But if you bring back Verlander, put him like a fifth in the rotation, he could help out the young guys and try to win a championship for Detroit. You know, basically just being a player slash coach, kind of, and just help out the young core. But I think Detroit making some minor moves. They are linked to Alex Bregman, which I'll talk about once I get through all these moves. And yeah, Torres. I actually think Torres is gonna have a breakout year this year. I really think so. I think he's gonna do great, and he is a great player. And I believe he'll be on a probably one of the best years he's had in a while. Um, let's talk about the Houston Astros, who have had some mixed emotions here, in my opinion. Um, they traded Kyle Tucker to the Cubs for Isaac Paredes. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but why? Why would you trade Kyle Tucker? I understand he is a free agent at the end of this year, but knowing that you're gonna lose Alex Bregman is the thing that kind of worries me the most. I think they are going to retool. Um, I mean, the only good hitters on that team right now are Altuve and Jordan Alvarez. Um, Pena could be good if he gets on a roll. He just can't get into these slumps that he gets on. But they lost a great at bat for from Tucker. Good pickup for the Cubs. I think the Cubs are probably competing for it um, because your only threat right now is the Brewers. St. Louis is not going to go anywhere. Pittsburgh has a couple of years before they contend. Um, the Reds, I think they're kind of going to do what the Rangers did, which was, you know, Hall of Fame manager, see where this goes, um, and then maybe make moves within a couple of years. But right now, the only threat is the Milwaukee Brewers. So I'll see what the Cubs could do. I mean, that's one good of a lineup. If Swanson could get back to form and Suzuki and Hemp, if all these guys could stay healthy and not slump, then the acquisition of Kyle Tucker is going to be phenomenal. And Kyle Tucker, in my opinion, I think if he stayed healthy last year, he could have won. He could have been a candidate for the MVP. And he missed some time due to injury. He, I want to say he only played like a handful of games. Um, Last year he played 78 games and still hit 23 home runs, which is kind of outstanding for that. And if he stayed healthy, I'd say he gets close to 40, 50 home runs if healthy. But like I said, he's an injury, so he's got to stay healthy. He's got to go on and try to have a good year, especially now a proven year when he's going to be a free agent. Um, but I think if he is healthy, he's a steal for the Cubs. For Petties, he's gonna be the third baseman. Um, Downgrade from Bregman, but the Astros are looking at it as we need to do something. We're not bringing for Bregman. This is the best option we could have done. So yeah, he's gonna be the third. He's gonna be the third baseman, and then Christian Walker signs a 3-year deal with the Astros as well. He'll be the first baseman. They needed that ever since Gurriel has left. Abreu was I don't know. Abreu just awful for the Astros, but you're gonna have a guy who hits 30 home runs a year, right-handed bat, a great defender at first. So this would be a good move for the Astros. Christian Walker um, goes to them. Who else am I missing? The Red Sox got Crochet, and they got Walker Buehler. They needed this. They needed to have pitching. The pitching has sucked for many, many, many years. So now you have an ace, and now you have a guy who, yes, struggled in the regular season, but he did phenomenal in the postseason. These are, like I said, two great moves they had to make, absolutely. And you have a Abreu in the rotation. Giolito is expected to come back for opening day. So the pitching rotation, not great, but it's solid. But I think they also need that bullpen, and that bullpen's tremendous. I know they had Chapman. Um, Hendricks is going to probably be the closer. There's rumors that they are the favorite to win Nolan Arenado, which I guess you can move Devers to first and, see how that will work. I would probably move Nolan Arenado to first, in my opinion. But, okay, whoever helps them win, I think that's what they're looking for. And has be the DH, and I'll probably try to move Story and get back shortstop and be the Red Sox. But right now, for the pitching, they needed the pitching help. They've got it. They adjusted it. So we'll see where this takes them. This pitching and the hitting. I think there's still more relievers out there that they can have on that market. And they didn't just those um, those options for reliever, and I think they'll be a good ball club. I think they'll probably be second place to the Yankees if they do address the bullpen. Rangers get Nathan Eovaldi. They also get Jake Burker in a trade. Um, and they get Jock Peterson on a 2-year deal. Look, this is just it's these are moves that the Rangers were gonna make. Evaldi's the ace. He hasn't not great, but it's a solid. It's either that or DeGrom, and I don't think they trust DeGrom. Something tells me they want to get rid of DeGrom. Oh, really hasn't done anything for them as of late. Um, but again, what else do you have left to lose? Like I said, the Astros, okay, Mariners, I think finished last in that division, and the Angels have a solid team, but they're not super. So I think the Rangers just are going to go by, this is what we have. This is our team full of stars, and they are Simeon, Seager, Garcia, Berger, Peterson, Heim, Lanford. Put these guys together, see what we got. And I think they're hungry to get back into the playoffs, which, I mean, they have the team to do it. The only thing is they can't get off to a bad start, and they need to finish strong for that in order to be back into the postseason. But other than that, think uh, I think they'll have a great year. It just depends on what they do or not. Um, Josh Naylor goes to the D-backs. He gets traded there. I mean, why not? You lose Christian Walker, go out and just make a trade. And for that, the Guardians get Carlos Santana back. Josh Naylor is a lefty bat in that lineup. Once again, they need uh, good defensively. Hitting wise, numbers are okay. Uh, he is clutch. He does come through the clutch moments, which they need, and they have a phenomenal team here for the regular season. Nearly 31 home runs this past year. And I think they can compete with the Dodgers. I think they can compete with the Dodgers. Uh, Especially with the big move they made, which we'll just talk about that now, which is Corbin Burns goes to them on a 6-year deal. So yeah, why not? Um, Compete. I mean, I think they're doing the smart thing, which is they know they're not going to beat the Dodgers. They're not going to win the division, but we still have the wild card, and let's go after it. Last time they were a wild card, they ended up in the World Series. So let's do it now. And that rotation's one hell of a rotation. Burns, Gallen, Rodriguez, Kelly. It's a solid rotation. I think it could be up there for one of the best. Is it the best? I don't think so. But I would throw their name in as one of the best rotations in all of baseball. I like Corbin Burns. He knows what he's doing. He's an ace. It has done so well for Milwaukee. Even last year, he pitched phenomenal for Baltimore in a very, very tough division. And I think he's going to prove it again. I think he's going to help out this Diamondbacks team a lot. Go for it. Let's go for it. And I think that's what they're going to do. I like that move for both sides. And I think they're going to be a good team. I think they're going to have the Dodgers run for their money. Like I said, I don't think they're going to win the division, but I think they will scare the Dodgers just a little bit. Let's see. McCutchen goes to the Pirates. Nathan Lone gets traded to the Nats. Good, solid young team. He's a great first baseman. Nothing wrong with that. Upgrade there with his young team. Not enough to win though. But I see it as a let's try to do this because he's not a free agent until I think a couple years. So start off on the right foot and get going and see where this brings you as they progress to become better. I don't think they'll be as good as the 19 team, but start while you can, right? Let's see. Patrick Sandoval goes to the Red Sox. Trevino gets traded to the Reds. Good move. Veteran catcher to help out a young ball club. Let's see. Okay. I think Garcia goes back to the Jays. Jimenez gets traded to the Jays from Cleveland. Brian De La Cruz signs a 1-year deal with the Braves. I think it was a great fit. I did agree with the Pirates and last year, as well as Miami. I think it'll be more of a left fielding uh, spot. Soon he'll be moved to the designated hitter, which he needs to be. What else? And of course, we got to mention the New York Yankees. What did they do since they lost Juan Soto? Well, let's go down the list. Max Fried signed an 8-year deal with them. Then they trade for Devin Williams. Then they trade for Cody Bellinger. And they signed Paul Goldschmidt to a 1-year deal. Also bringing back Jonathan Loaisiga on a 1-year deal as well. So let's go down this list. Max Fried, great addition for the New York Yankees. Look, it gives Garrett Cole some help. I think that's what the New York Yankees wanted, and that's what they needed. Carlos Rodon is not a great number 2. Max Fried, on the other hand, he's been in the playoffs. He's ready for the pressure, which I like. We always hear this. Oh, a pitcher comes to the Yankees. Oh, are you gonna be able to handle it? I think he's gonna be able to handle it. It's not. Yes, I know he played for Atlanta, but he helped the team win in 21. He's young. He's hungry to win again. This is a rotation that I can stand by. Carlos Rodon struggles. Well, look, he's third. He's not second. If Max Fried was a free agent 1 year earlier, I say that World Series, it would have been tied 1-1. Because it's either, like I said, a make or break. Number 2, you have to have a strong number 2. And the Yankees do not. They didn't. Carlos Rodon did not help them in Game 2 of the World Series. I don't think he even got out the 3rd inning, which the Yankees need. Now, let's say he lost Game 3. That's fine. You could lose Game 3. You could recapitalize with Hill and Schmidt. But if you lose back-to-back starts after Garrett Cole puts on a phenomenal performance, it was basically what happened. They just lost, and they got lost in that shuffle. Max Fried is going to help out the Yankees. He's going to do phenomenal. Have him plus Garrett Cole in that same rotation is probably going to be the best 1-2 punch in all of baseball right now. And this is what the Yankees needed. They needed 2 strong pieces in that rotation, and that's what they got. Max Fried, huge upgrade for the New York Yankees. Devin Williams, he comes along in a trade, and they trade for Nestor Cortez, which I kind of figured he was out anyway, because there were talks about him being traded at the last trade deadline. Devin Williams is probably one of the best closers in baseball when healthy. I'm looking at my 7, 8, 9 guys for the Yankees. Loizica in the 7th, Luke Weaver in the 8th, Devin Williams in the 9th. That's lights out stuff. If Loizica is healthy, he's lights out. Weaver, we've seen what he could do out of the bullpen. And he was phenomenal. Big part of the Yankees' postseason run. Luke, hey, Clay Holmes struggles. We need a closer. Okay, I'm willing to do it. Let's go. And now you have him and Williams 8 and 9 in this bullpen. You're solid. They're solid. They have a great bullpen. Is it like the best bullpen of all time? No, but it's gonna be enough to get you through the 25 season. I think that's where they're looking. Devin Williams, I can't kill him for 24. He was hurt most of the year. But this is going to be another bounce back season, I feel. I mean, as far as if he struggles, I don't know. But I don't think he's going to struggle. And I know he gave up that home run to Alonso in the postseason. But as a pitcher, you got to brush that off, which he's good at. And I think he's got to have a great season for the Yankees. This is going to be a great year for him. As for Cortez, look, new start. He's also a free agent, which I kind of find very weird that both him and Williams are free agents. But look, you're actually gonna have a chance to pitch. There's gonna be no trouble with him, and I like Cortez. I think he's gonna fit perfectly. And whoever signs him for 26 is gonna get a good pitcher, and that's what Milwaukee is doing as well. He's on. He's on. Yes, he does have his struggles as well, but he's a pitcher ready to come out and he's ready to win. And that's what I like about Cortez. So I think he's going to do very well for Milwaukee. Bellinger to the Yankees. I think this is a move the Yankees had needed to make. It's very long overdue. He has the swing for Yankee Stadium. Definitely gonna be the center fielder, which I don't think they should have done. I think Dominguez needs to be the center fielder. Move Bellinger to left. But hey, you know what? What do I know? I mean, but Bellinger is going to be a great asset for the Yankees. Like, his swing is great. You're also batting behind Judge, in front of Stan. He's going to be in between those two guys. And it's going to be, I think it'll be better than what we had with Soto and Judge. I think if you could get on and get these guys on the right start, Judge, Bellinger, Stan, it's going to be a dangerous 1-2-3. I know um, Bellinger's numbers this year did go down. But he's definitely an asset that needed to be. He needed to be here. That's all I'm gonna say. He's 29 years old. Um, yes, he only hit 18 home runs. He batted 266. But what was that compared to 2 years ago. Let's see, for the Cubs in 23, he batted he had 26 home runs and batted 307. I think he'll hit 30 home runs this year and be a good asset for the Yankees. And he'll be back as to the MVP Bellinger. That's how I look at it. He'll be the MVP Bellinger of this year, and I think this is gonna be a great move for New York. As for Goldschmidt, 1 year deal for first base. Why not? Veteran dude who's been here. He wants to win. He's hungry. Yes, he struggled in the first half, but the second half he had a great second half. Sorry, I'm rushing you. Had a great second half, and he is gonna be great. I think it'll be like more of Anthony Rizzo, but I think he's a little bit better than Rizzo. 22 home runs last year, MVP 2 years ago, his first MVP. To actually think about that, which is insane. And look, 1 year deal, because I think, as we've seen on a constant basis, they will be on the big man from Toronto, Vlad Jr. That's a different podcast, but I think that's what they're going to do is they're going to go after him. So why not take the veteran guy? But hey, he can also help out this young core that they have. Maybe even help out Ben Rice, who I'm not really a fan of, but I think they will. He will help him out just in case they do decide to put Ben Rice as an everyday first baseman. I think he'll train him, and like I said, great for the great asset for the New York Yankees with their moves. I think they're better off like this than they were if they got Soto. If they want to sign Juan Soto, I don't think they're a good team. They lost on Soto, blessing in disguise, because now they made all these moves, and I think they're a better team than they were last year. I think they have a shot to win the World Series, and that's what they're hoping for. Um, let's see some other small moves that we had here. Soroka goes to the Nats. Try to find himself yet again. Sugano, who pitched in Japan, has signed a 1 year deal with the O's. I don't know much about him. Canning goes to the Mets. Theus gets traded to the White Sox. Let's see. Oh, Josh Bell signs a 1 year deal with the Nats. He'll probably be more of a DH now that Lowe is with them. Trevor Williams re-signs with the Nationals. Rojas signs a 1 year deal with the White Sox. Hee-Sung Kim, who's spent years in Japan, signed a 3 year deal with the Dodgers. Probably plays second base. I mentioned Charlie Morton. Oh, Gavin Lux, because of the Kim signing, gets traded to the Reds. Great for them, a lefty bat. Also a good second baseman that they need. Again, a move they needed to make. Lorenzen signs with the Royals, and Chris Martin goes to the Texas Rangers. So that's all the moves that have been made. Let's talk about the moves that haven't been made, which is Pete Alonso. Uh, Look, he hasn't signed yet. kind of scares me. No one really wants him because of defense. Look, now that he's been out here for so long, about to enter mid-January. He needs to re-sign with the Mets. I think that's the only option that he has. It's not going to be a lot of money. It's not going to be for a lot of years. He's got to re-sign with the Mets. I believe that's where he's got to go. And I believe that's where his destination is. I think he wants to be a Met. He's said it time in and time again. But, of course, I mean, you have Scott Boras. And what Scott Boras going to do, well, he's going to try to get the money. The only other options that you have, really, as from what's been reported, is Seattle and the Angels. I don't think he'll be a good fit for any of those teams, especially in Seattle. We've heard how many players hate playing in Seattle. And the Angels, I think, is just, I mean, they made smaller moves than we went over the last couple of times. But he needs to be a Met. I think perfect destination. My prediction for Alonso is like I said, he signs with the Mets. I believe will be like a 3 or 4 year deal. Bregman is also out there. I believe he is gonna go to the Tigers. I've heard that news and rumors so many times. Just because he knows AJ Hinge. I've also heard the Red Sox, but I don't know if he will be going to the Red Sox. I think the Tigers should make more sense on for him. Again, a young team, a team that's hungry to win. They made a couple moves, and I think he'll be great for fit for that. So, if I had to pick between the two, Detroit, I believe will go there. Nick Pavetta's name's also out there. I know he has the draft pick attached to him. If I had to predict, I think San Diego. It just makes sense. They need pitching help. So why not? He's not a great pitcher, but he's solid. So he'll go there. Santander, I'm hearing between Toronto and the Tigers and the Angels. I like to see him go to the Angels. How about Mike Trout? Let's see what you could do. Give Trout some resting time between DH or a corner outfielder. And try to get this team to win. I know the Angels are frustrated. So are the fans. So why not? Just do it. Tanner Scott, Carlos Estevez, there are guys still out there. I haven't heard as much. I've heard recently the Red Sox are in on Tanner Scott. I also heard Atlanta. I think Atlanta does fit well for Tanner Scott. They need a closer. No offense to Iglesias, but he'll be a good fit for them. As far as Estevez, I haven't heard anything. But if I did have to pick anyone, maybe the Rangers. They need a closer. Clerk is a free agent. And, yeah, that's basically it. That's, yeah, that's basically it. That's the free agent moves and the guys who haven't gone on and signed. Um, you know, let me know what you think. What you guys, what move is your favorite? What move is, would you like to see? And, uh, leave a name, leave a prediction in the comment, and if you do, I will personally answer either your questions or your predictions. And then also join me this Friday where I have Craig and Al joining me for the 10 greatest first basemen of all time. We've been doing this series for a couple of months now. If you haven't, go check out the shortstop, third baseman, and catchers. Have really been big hits uh, with you guys, which thank you for your support on those videos. And like I said, first baseman is going to be next, and which will be on Friday. So thank you guys again for joining me, and as always, I will see you all in the next one.